I want to comment on a couple more things on today's Silver Smackdown, and I'm going to give you, well, a couple things basically, and I'll tell you what I think, but what I think is probably correct. When Ben Bernanke makes his statement saying there's not going to be any QE coming up, and I don't think Ben Bernanke's a bad guy. I'm not even saying that, but you know how the market react? Wham. The market didn't react. I think it was all planned, and that was a cover story. In short, there's other things going on. That's what I think. Anyway, and it kind of goes along with say for instance, oil was up to 109.70 on the WTI to West Texas. Down here it's at 106.89 now, but it was up to almost 110. Then the IMF, I said this before, but just think about it. The IMF states, use good common sense. This is why I don't like professionals a lot of times, because they don't have any common sense a lot of times. Well, forget about it. But just figure this, the IMF comes out with a statement saying, this oil prices of speculators are starting to jeopardize the economy. It's, it's going to wreck the economy if the oil prices keep going up. So why would the speculators back off? It's nothing. There's nothing to do with anything. Nothing to do with anything. So, there is stuff going on. I think, the markets can be moved, but there is also truth to the statement that the market will basically rule in the long run. And I know about the leveraged funds, they basically are, if you hold them a long time, they erode. So if you're holding a leveraged fund a long time, and if you're not in a bull market, you're going to get screwed. That's basically what's going to happen, and I showed how that works. The more volatile it is, the faster it erodes. And this is volatile. It was going up real hard, going down real hard. So, for instance, if you looked at triple leveraged silver, say when price silver is back at 35, or 34 or whatever the hell it is, say it's 35. Well, triple leverage is going to be a lower price. But that's just how the fund works. They're not doing anything dishonest. They're managing a fund with options. A lot of things is managed behind the scenes, and they're working. They're doing things to provide you another product, but you just have to understand what the product's about. It's a scary product. And I'm going to tell you right now, not to say this is a bad thing or a good thing or whatever the hell it is, but I do realize a lot of stuff about Jews, I guess you would call that, but in the Northeast. I was from the Northeast, and I seem to get in with some pretty powerful people, and I always think, let me put it this way, I'll be flat out honest, I always think the Italians are the guys who freaking do this stuff. You gotta be kidding me, man. Those guys are Jews. I always work for them too, man. So I ain't one of them. So that kind of makes you an outsider, because you're not one of them, and then that kind of stuff. But big deal. I don't really have nothing against them or nothing like that. But they're smart. They're smart, man. They know what they're doing. And Ben Bernanke's not a bad guy, but this whole deal with this silver, when he said that, that's almost like, well, the reason silver went down is because he said that. Yeah, sure. But anyway, the fact is it went down. And fiat cash is what counts. Now, if I wasn't making this Palladium video on YouTube, I would have set my stops, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, man. But I didn't expect it. I could have set them last night, too. I could have done that. But, I didn't want to do that, because sometimes, this is what I hate about stops. Not that I know all this stuff, what's going to happen, but sometimes in the morning, it's crashed down bad, and it floats back up again, so it stops you out. It's another game they play, So it was up, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to set them, but I still secured gains even from the sales today. Now what I did, and where I'm down a little bit, is I rebought back into Velocity shares, but not as low as I could have. But I'm going to hold them, and it's small. It's a smaller bet. I also bought back a little bit into PSOV. Why? Because I think silver's going up. Now, if I was a little faster on this crap, I was talking about shorting the market, I should have shorted the market. But I was involved in making a YouTube video, and I'm thinking to myself, that was an expensive video on that palladium. So I hope some people are paying attention to that thing. And yes, I would wait till that measure. You might want to buy a little bit if you have the money. You might. But I think it's going to crash again. Not soon. I mean, it's not going to crash within the next several months or that kind of stuff. But they'll crash it again. Wait, the same thing. Follow the principles. Slow down in China. Yeah, that'll crash it. I don't know if Mark Farber is going to be right about that. There's a lot of people that disagree with Mark Farber about the slowdown in China. Some people are very bullish on China. I don't think China's going to slow down that much. There might be, a serious 2008 crisis times 2 coming up sometime too. And I think the high oil prices is going to be the thing to portend that. So where are we at right now? In oil prices, forget about it. We're anywhere near a calamity yet. Now, I got curious about what Connecting Dots said about Connecting Dots. I don't know if he's right or not, but I respect the guy because I think he's not a BSer at all. He gives that, he's got a head on his shoulders. I think that, he stated that in March there might be this market crash or something. I don't know, I've been hearing this stuff too about bank closures and everything, but I don't really know why. I mean, I don't see why, I don't see anything factual that tells me that, so I don't really believe it. And I heard about market crashes back in October too, and how many times that was supposed to happen in October. The S&P didn't crash in 2011 in October. Now, the one thing that might get you a little nervous is that the Dow topped 13,000 again. The S&P's getting way the hell up there. But I think that's a lot of inflationary pressures behind the scenes. So, the reason silver's not such big news because it didn't hit an all-time high yet, and it's down from its highs in 2011, despite the fact that it went up 20-something%. I mean, the major media, they're kind of like, I don't want to. Well, I see a lot of commentators on the major media. They are idiots. I know that, and a lot of people say this. But they're not exactly trying to hide too much about silver as much as people think. It is a very risky, volatile asset. So the average person doesn't want to get into silver. If they got a lot of money, they usually don't. I think they're wrong too. I think physical silver is a smart thing. But I do get aggravated at some of the physical silver pundits out there. And I'm trying to provide a little bit of a balance to things because it's not quite as much of a conspiracy as people think. Yes, it's kind of is one, but it's always been like this. It's nothing new. And I know about fiat currency, it's going to nothing. And I did secure more physical nickels today and yesterday. Not many, but every time I go to the bank, just tell them to give me 10 rolls. Because they're probably wondering what the hell I'm doing with all these nickels. I think I'm playing poker. But, just collecting them. So it's the best fiat money to hold long term. Now, my thing is I grab the money and go. That's kind of the way I am. And I was kind of holding longer because of pundits telling me different things, and I get really aggravated at some of that stuff sometimes. But I always kid that I'm kind of rabbi trained, but that's the way to be. That's the way to be. You got to gain, start securing it. You got a fish on a hook, reel it in. It's done. It's cash now. Check has to clear. That's the way I look at it. So I got a lot of respect for Jewish businessmen. I do. I think they're good. And I know some of the guys that are on the top, well, the Russian Jewish ones that are in, high organizations and stuff. Man, I take the Americans over them any day. Believe me, I don't like them. The American Jews are good to go. I don't know about some of these Russian ones, man. Holy shit, believe me. Anyway, yeah, but you know what camp I'm in? I'm on the USA New York Jewish guys side all the way. That's why I don't like them being criticized too much. I don't like that stuff. But reality is, they're trying to do a lot of good in this country, and a lot of Jewish businessmen have done a lot of good in this country. They really have. You know, I know the stuff about the Rothschilds and the conspiracies and all this type of stuff, but I don't know. I don't buy into all that stuff too much, you know? I mean, to me, some of it's just out there, and there is no consensus among anybody. But, you know, I do want to point out, you know, the markets are kind of rigged. And with Ben Bernanke making this statement, it wasn't enough to slam down silver like that. Get the hell out of here. That's like a cover story, you know? Just like the same thing with the oil. So, but my train, you know, my brain is grab the money. Grab the money. So, you know, that's what saved me. So I'm back in somewhat a little bit on USLV, and it's down. But I got in there, of course, lower than when I sold it at. And it's a small bet. And I figure it's going to go back up again. And I also bought back a little bit of PSLV because it was cheaper. You know, when silver takes a smack down like that and it shouldn't have, it's going to go back up. That's the way I look at it. I should have shorted it, right? But I might be too late to short it now. I don't know. But, you know, it says gold slumped more than 3% on Wednesday and silver fell 5%, well, more like 7%, as traders bet that further monetary stimulus from the Federal Reserve wasn't near after comments from Federal Chairman Ben Bernanke. I don't believe that has anything to do with it. Not really. And just a real quick highlight on this thing, it says, it talks about it seems like people have overreacted to Ben Bernanke's statements, and I don't really think it was that. I think there was other things going on. So yeah, I think they can move your markets electronically. Yeah, and there's some games going on, but you know, I just want to look at these iShares. Let's see what happened here, right? Dipped, right? It's a hard dip. What the hell happened? Buying. Now, I mean, you see the guys that bought here, right? They screwed up because it slammed all the way down to here. Then you saw a big volume buying, right? So now it's kind of flattened it out. So I don't know. I really don't know what the hell it's going to do. You know, it's probably, that was one thing we were kind of expecting it to kind of pull back a little bit below 35. Well, there you go. That's what happened, right? So, you know, I'm going to hold on to the USOV that I got a little bit of. That was like my smallest bet. That's down a little bit, but, you know, I bought it back cheaper. And it might be recovered in a week. I don't know. Week or two. I don't know. And I did buy some more, a little bit of PSOV. But I'm waiting for like trades to go back into cash again, you know, so I can, you know, settle trades and stuff like that. So I gotta wait anyway. And yeah, I do. I don't know. I've been around Jewish businessmen. I think they're very smart, and there's different attitudes. But I kind of like being in with those guys because I'm into this game a lot, and I enjoy it. It's almost like you're not even thinking about money. You know, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm not freaking trying to play some kind of big guy, you know. And to tell you the truth, a lot of those guys play very low profile too. So, I mean, that's just how it is. And I mean, I don't have any money like those guys or anything. But the thing is, I'm just saying is that you know, I just enjoy the game. So, you know, and I find a lot of Jewish businessmen are very intelligent. So, you know, they're not in a box where they're just thinking one way and all that kind of garbage. So, and you know, I helped a lot of them get a hell of a lot of wealth, man. I'll tell you the truth. If I wasn't there with this stuff, I think a lot of these guys probably wouldn't have 100 times what the hell they got now. They'd be way below what they got now. I built up a lot of those guys pretty good. So, you know, I might be giving you some good advice about what's going on and what to watch for with silver, so you don't get screwed over and it is smart. Like I said, I was securing gains yesterday. Everybody's going, it's going to 40, 42. Yeah, well, it turned out, I'm glad I did that, you know.